A lot of amazing things happen. And Christine really focuses on a lot of the educational programs that go on at NewHope. She's going to talk to you about one of them and how you guys can help her pull it off in a really unique way. Everyone give it up for Christine Sorensen!
Hi guys, how you doing? Good. Okay, so I'm Christine Sorensen. I'm the Director of K-12 Education for NewHope, and I run the Imagination Iowa programming. It focuses on teaching kids about coding, engineering, and entrepreneurship. One of the programs that I run is called Future City. I'm actually the regional coordinator for the entire state of Iowa. It was a national program. It's now gone international, so that includes 40 other states that are involved, plus China, Egypt, and Canada. Any of you involved in Future City when you were in middle school? All right, so you three kind of know what I'm talking about. It's a competition, and then we hold a regional for the state of Iowa. Whoever wins regionals goes to Washington, D.C. to represent Iowa at the nationals, and also competing with China, Egypt, and Canada. So, let's see if I can figure this out first. All right.
Yes. You want me to advance it?
Yeah. Do that. Okay. I just teach kids, if I bring other people in to teach kids about technology, I was never teaching. Yep, so there's one of our models. Okay, so Future City is a project-based learning program for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students. It teaches them about engineering and city planning. Every year there's a theme. Last year's theme was public spaces. So students have to think about, how would you turn an abandoned railroad track into something that would be utilized within the community. This year's theme is a little bit different, and I'm going to need a little bit more assistance on it because it's actually having the kids put themselves in the place of a human being that they really have no idea what it's like to be that person. Okay. It's called an age-friendly city. It's a theme this year, so it's dealing with senior citizens and how they can make their city more friendly for the elderly, senior citizens, and obviously that goes hand in hand with disabilities as well. So this is something that they have to actually put themselves in that person's place, which can be a little bit tricky sometimes when you're 12 years old and you're not used to doing that. So the official definition of a senior citizen in most countries, including ours, is 60 or 65 and older. The number of adults, older adults, so senior citizens that will be in the United States at least, will exceed the number of kids under the age of 14 by 2050. So our baby boomers are going into that phase, and we're going to have a very large population of senior citizens. So this is a great opportunity for these youngsters who will be probably doing the engineering, design, city planning for them in the future. So they need to think about things like how can they improve a city's design to make it more accessible for seniors and those with disabilities. And what do seniors want? What do they need? What are they looking for? Those are the types of research that these kids are going to be doing. Okay? So their specific challenge is quoted as this: identify an age-related challenge in their city and engineer 2 solutions that allows the city's senior citizens to be active, independent, and engaged as they want. Okay? So kind of think about that as someone in your situation, and what we drew you to plan that, and then imagine that you're 12, 13, and 14 years old. So these are the major components of the competition. They're going to be judged on these 5 elements. The project management, that's a little bit easier, so they learn a little bit about project management as far as kind of put some of the kids in the Scrum process, which you guys will be learning a little bit about this year. But that's just whether or not they completed it, so it's kind of like you did it or you didn't do it to get the points. But the other 4 are much more in depth. So they're going to be creating a virtual city. That's a technology aspect. You guys ever use the SimCity app? Okay, so they're going to be doing that. So they have a virtual aspect. They need to think about things like population size, crime rate, things like that. They need to have a 1,500-word essay. They need to have a 3D, 2-scale model of their city, and then they need to do a presentation in front of judges who are typically engineers. So this is what they're looking at, a 1,500-word narrative about their city. They're going to introduce 2 engineering components that will solve a couple of problems that they see in our current cities. So maybe it's transportation, or maybe it's accessibility to buildings, maybe it's bus routes. Maybe it's something more along the lines of the healthcare industry. And they're going to provide 2 engineering feats that will help solve that problem. They're going to discuss that in their essay. The other thing is our virtual city, so that's where they're going to be thinking about these components. The model that they need to build has to have some kind of scale, so 1 inch equals 3 miles. They need to have a moving part, it needs to incorporate the theme, and they have to use all recyclable materials, and they can't exceed a budget over $100. And then their presentation is 7 minutes long. They need to explain their city, they need to show off their model, they need to talk about the engineering solutions, the city planning solutions they've come up with, and then they have 5 to 8 minutes for Q&A from the judges. And these are engineers who are going to be asking the kids engineering questions. They are allowed to have flip charts, handouts, brochures, those are all allowed, so it looks very professional. So here's one from a competition last year, and this child right now is being grilled on the model. So he's taking questions from 2 judges. One of them was from the University of Iowa Engineering Department, and one was from the Iowa State Engineering Department, and he has to be able to explain that in his model. So this is where you guys come in, because I may want a little bit more ideas with you guys as far as explaining the problem to the kids. But what I really need is help with my judges. I was a judge for Future City for many years, and I have to tell you, these rubrics are detailed. The typical rubric for just one category can be 3 to 6 pages long, and this is what 1 page looks like. It's very overwhelming for a judge, even if you are an engineer or a city planner. So what I would like to do is give them some training, because typically what happens is we give them a crash course about a half hour before they go in. We say, here's your rubric, here are all the components, this is what it looks like, and anybody that's new and never done it before has no idea what to expect. So, the first group that the judges give scores to always gets the wonkiest scores. And by the time they judge 3 different sets of cities, then they start to get the flow of what a normal city looks like, what a really good one looks like, which one they did last night and prep ahead of time. And then they're not allowed to go back and change their scores. They've done 6 cities, and 3 have really good scores, and 2 have scores that they were like, shoot, I didn't really understand the whole process. It doesn't need to be that hard. So I'm thinking to create a series of videos, a video for each of the different types of judging. So that would be 4 judging components. The virtual city, the essay, the presentation, and the model. A way to explain the rubric to them, to kind of walk through it. It doesn't need to be walked through every single aspect of it, but in a way that presents it to them before they show, and how to properly score. The next one is to give some demonstrations. I have Future City students from the past that still have their models that can come in, and they can redo their presentation from before, so we can show them what average, excellent, and poor presentations look like. And to show them examples of essays, PowerPoint, and models. So these videos will be distributed to the judges. I want to get them to them a week before they come in so that they can watch them, look at them over a few times. Excuse me. The essay in the virtual city will be scored on January 13th, and then the models and presentations will be scored on the 20th. It looks like we have a lot of time to prepare for this, but we really want to get it started as soon as we can. So if we need to do any editing, we can. These videos I will be sharing with all regional coordinators. That includes all 40 other states that participate, plus China, Egypt, and Canada, so that they can use this model, or they can actually use these videos across the entire national program. And then I will also be using these to train every year. Thank you so much. Here is one of our teams from last year. As you can see, the kids often look very professional, and they're going to get grilled pretty heavy. Okay, so if you're interested in helping me with this, I would really appreciate it, because I'm one of a team of 1.5, and my teammate tends to work in the Code.org realm, whereas I handle more of the K-12 kids programming. So I could really use your help in making these videos. Plus, if you have video experience that I don't have, it would be really helpful. So you can contact me. My email's up here. Also, if you need volunteer hours, I'm your girl. I can sign off on it, and I have tons of different opportunities for you to get involved this year to volunteer, just in general. So I have my card here that I'm going to give to Troy, so if you would like to get a hold of me for either volunteering or you want to get involved in some of the programs that we have, you can, but also to help with these videos. Any questions? Quiet.
So Christine, it sounds like we need people who like telling stories, storyboarding, figuring out how to get a message across, 4 distinct different categories. And when these are finished, there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of judges across, not the just the United States, but internationally. You're going to have a product that you created. This is a line item to throw on your resume or your college app and say, you know, my videos have been seen worldwide, and just a cool opportunity. Last opportunity for questions for Christine. Yeah.
I'm also not picky about the format right now. It's something I'm willing to discuss with you guys. If you have ideas for it, certain ways that you think would be a cool way to do it. So you have a lot of input in what they're going to look like and the content.